time, we'll be taking a look at the DC Universe Classics Series 15 figure, Jemm. And he is truly, truly outrageous. Sorry, I just had to make that joke. If you're a kid of the 80s, you get that. So you get the picture, you get the biography and statistics, as well as the other figures in the wave here. Golden Pharaoh, Olmec, Raven, Martian Manhunter, Starman, the Sinestro Corps Batman, and the Collect and Connect Validus. There are two variants, Martian Manhunter with an alien look, and the 90s Jack Knight Starman. Right off the bat, you can tell that this figure is it got a very unique look to him. He has got some very tall, lanky limbs, helped by his long fingers and his really long legs. Actually, his legs make him a very odd figure to pose. I find that I have to bring his knees forward and angle his legs in a position so he's kind of in an odd stance in order to get him to stand up right. His cape, I think, is what doing it, is throwing him off balance. His legs are kind of a little loose here in the hip region. Out of all of the figures, he is the hardest to get posed. But you do have a couple of nice positions that you can get him into. You just have to play around with him a little bit. Color-wise, he's a very nice red. It's kind of odd, the two-tone blue and sort of silver coloring to his, well, I guess his pants there. But it kind of works, I guess. His cape is really this light blue-ish white, and I think it should be more white than it is. It's the cape, the paint on the cape doesn't really wow me, especially his little clasp here at the top should be a little bit more goldish, I think. Probably out of all the figures, this is the weakest in this series. He has absolutely no accessories other than the Validus piece that he comes with. As you can see, he kind of looks a lot like Martian Manhunter, and there's a reason for that in his backstory. You see, there were three races that originated on Malacandra, which is the native name for Mars. There was, of course, the Green Martians, the White Martians, and the Yellow Martians. Now, both the Green and the White coexisted for a while, and they both cloned another race, which became the Red Martians, and they were used as workers to colonize different planets, among them being Saturn. Whereas the Green Martians treated the clones and the cloned workers as equals. The White Martians, think of it what you will, treated them as slaves and thought of them as second-class citizens. As the years would go by, many years, Jemm came about. He was the son of the king of the red Saturnians now, who had rebelled against their white Martian masters on Saturn and had set up their own society. However, the white Martians were still around to cause problems for the red Saturnians, and Jemm was forced to flee during a white Martian coup, and he flees out into the wilderness with his mother and his teacher, actually a white Martian, and eventually the bad white Martians catch up to them, and he loses both his mother and his teacher, and from there on he flees to Earth, and first shows up brainwashed by Lex Luthor, and is used against the Justice League as part of the Injustice League or Injustice Gang, whatever they call themselves. John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, recognizes who he is and or what he is, and helps him recover over his brainwashing from or by Lex Luthor. And he returns to Saturn and forms a new regime through a political wedding, an arranged wedding to bring the two sides together. He's pretty much been there for a long time. He's made a couple of cameos. Once in the Ran-Thanagar War, where Saturn allied itself with Ran against Thanagar, and again in the recent New Krypton storyline. So he's a character that isn't really used much. So his powers are pretty much the same as Martian Manhunter's. He is a telepath, but he does not have the shape-changing abilities of the green Martians or the white Martians. And his really singular power is he's able to focus energy through his this little gemstone on top of this diamond here, which is called the Mark of Jargon, after a legendary figure in red Saturnian history, or lore. He heals very well as well. He's able to regenerate all of his cells. Basically, he's got a healing factor. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but if I didn't, his first appearance, he's a pretty modern character, within the last 25 years. And he first appears in Jemm, Son of Saturn #1 in 1984. That's it for Jemm, Son of Saturn, who is once again a very obscure character, which this wave seems to enjoy putting out, though at this point there's not much big names left to do. So stay tuned for my next review when we do get to one of those big name characters, and actually a fan-picked character, and that's Raven. So until then, see ya.